People treat dogs more as if it's a human, whereas people treat cats as if it was like a rat. You know, they are not respected. Cats mean love, happiness. I can't imagine my life without cats. They rock.
Why? If you bring a pet into us, we can do that back after you see it. If there's ever a behavior problem, if it's a medical problem, call us.
I am known as a cat rescuer. I'm very passionate about it. I just can't say no to something that is so lovable and has such great potential to bring love to other people that I can't say no to not rescuing it. I mean, that's just not even an option. I had never had a cat. I always grew up with dogs, and my friend was telling me about her cats, and so I was like, oh my God, I need a cat. So my sister and I randomly went to a humane society where we were living. We just showed up, we looked at the cats, and I found one that I loved because he was fat, and I just thought it was so cute. When we went up to the cage, he went right up to the cage to be petted, and I knew he was the one. He chose us. My sister and I shared a room, and whenever the cat would sleep with the other one of us, we would be super jealous. So we're like, well, we need another cat. That way we can each have a cat to sleep with. So we went back to the same humane society that we got the first one from, and we went and we looked at cats again, and we were 99% sure we were going to get this one cat. Well, then we were in the cat room, and all of a sudden something poked me on my right shoulder. And I looked over, and then this cute little angel had his little paw stick out of the cage and poke me on the shoulder. And I was like, oh my God, this is fate. He literally just picked me to be his mom.
Per month? That would vary. I mean, in the winter seasons, it's a lot slower, probably 20 maybe. I'm just guessing. I mean, now, you know, the springtime of the year and the summer, sometimes we can easily see 20 a day.
Total, my sister and I together have rescued 6 cats. The first 2 we rescued were the ones we have, the tabby and the Himalayan. The third cat we rescued was from the same humane society that our 2 boys were from. She was absolutely gorgeous. Her name was Harley. We rescued her when she was 7 years old. She was very sick. We actually were at the Humane Society with a friend who was getting a cat. Well, my sister, I turn around, she's bawling her stinking eyes out. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? She's like, this cat, we need this cat. And I was like, we cannot get another cat. So I'm like, you know what, well, you can hold her. And then the cat sneezes on her, and she just cries even harder. She's like, this is a sign that I need her because the cat imprinted on me. She sneezed on me. We took her home. About a month into it, we had the 3 cats, and we're college students. We don't have a lot of money. Actually, the apartment we were living in at the time, we weren't even allowed to have animals, and we already had 2 boys, and now we added this girl, Harley. It just worked out that our friend Molly loves cats as well, and she's like, I need this cat. Give it to me. My family's going to love it. So her family, of course, took her in immediately, so they adopted Harley from us. There are an insane amount of cats. People are just dumping them off. They're not neutering and spaying their animals. They're just having litter after litter. They go wild, they starve, they get eaten by other animals. I mean, shelters cannot keep up with the number of cats that are coming into their care.
What is the chance of them actually, about how many get into a shelter?
Not very many. Not enough. I'd say probably 1%. Not very many. I mean, a lot of the cats we deal with are just wild, fractious cats that are very hard to handle. So they do attempt to take as many as they can, but fortunately.
The 4th cat we rescued was Megra. We were going to Starbucks one day, my sister and I, on campus, and we see this little, not even the size of my hand, smaller than the size of my hand, this little thing go meow, 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 up to this guy, and this guy's looking at it, and he's smiling and just walks around it. And I'm like, what is that? I mean, it's so small. I pick it up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a baby opossum. So we take it with us, of course. It's so cute. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think this is actually a kitten. And it had 7 toes on each front paw and 5 toes on each back paw. I had to work, so we didn't have much time to think. So we're like, okay, well, we'll take it to the animal control shelter. We don't know much about animal control at the time, so we're like, okay, we'll do that. Little did we know that all the pounds were full, and most likely this cat was going to have to be put down for no room. And we're like, oh my gosh. We're sending this picture out, this towed cat out to all of our relatives, all of our friends, like, someone please take this beautiful baby. And one of our older sisters texted us back and was like, I need this towed cat. Long story short, she is now happily doing great with one of our sisters. There's so many horrible stereotypes about cats, and I want to crush them all.
What are some of the stereotypes?
Everyone thinks that cats are too independent. You want a piece?
How to break it down?
I think most people just think cats are stinky and wild and got too many weapons, scratch you, bite you. Really not bad. I mean, if somebody's wanting a pet, it's very easy to have a cat, and you don't really have to do a lot with a cat.
So I think that's a lot of that is just lack of understanding of that animal and what that animal needs, and just the socialization. So they have a couple bad experiences, and then there's the whole wives' tale of black cats are bad luck. I mean, you never hear of any color of dogs being bad luck. So I think that kind of contributes.
If the cat don't belong to nobody, after 3 days, we do offer it to several different humane groups for adoption. If they do not take the cat, if none of the humane groups take it or the owners don't come forward, the cat is humanely euthanized.
Kittens can go into heat when they're 4 months old. They can start having litters at 4 months, and mom can be nursing one litter and be getting pregnant with another.
If everybody would get their cats spayed or neutered, there wouldn't be all these wild cats running around out there. Even if they would just get them spayed and neutered if they were wild cats and just release it back, just prevent them from having litter after litter.
I don't know why anyone would be scared of a cat, because if you're just gentle and you're just calm, they'll love you. I think you can train any cat to love if you give them love.